Thank you, no, thank you, because it's 1:30, I
Drink your
believe. Yep.
coffee, Maureen.
Tea.
Drink-
All right,
Okay.
we're on,
Can't
folks.
you have
It's
one this
hot water
morning?
with milk.
Can't help you there.
We're
Yeah, one
on,
this morning?
Yeah.
we're on.
What are you looking
Hello,
Tea.
Oh.
sorry. We goofed, no tea today, so. Welcome, everybody. Good to see you in this very busy time of the year, which is becoming busier every day as we move along, it seems, so. I think we have a quorum, Mr. Oh, yes, Sue Raymond also is not going to be here today, but she is going to do our minutes still. She's going to get them from the tape.
Good.
All right, just so everyone knows that's what's happening.
That we're relieved.
Yes, so, she did tell me that ahead of time. So,
Is Ann Lee not coming?
She'll be right with you. She's on the phone. She's next door. Excuse me.
who is?
Must be Liz.
Liz.
Oh.
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Liz.
It's Liz? Yeah. Okay. Ann Lee went back to work for a brief period of time. I think it runs out in December.
Did
and
anybody put it on? We have no pictures.
Oh, it's on. It's not on. But
It's
she
on.
told us to go ahead.
She gave us the thumbs up
Well,
with the red hair.
Just keep
Amber.
going.
yeah.
They can just do it verbally for now.
Well, that's what's going to happen, I guess, because she hasn't come back in to tell us to not move along. So, back to Ann Lee. She unfortunately did not clarify that she could not be present the second Monday of the month at work. But her filling in or coverage is, I think, ending in December, and she's also has informed them that, oh, I guess we were off, maybe. Anyway, she has been, she informed them that she, in January on, she is not available on the second Monday of the month in the afternoon.
Good.
Okay, so that's why she's not here. She did notify me last month that she was gonna miss last month and this month's meeting because of that. And she does good work with children in the schools, so she can't be every place all the time. So. All right.
Pretty cool when somebody asks you to come back.
This is cool. You're right, David, that is quite a compliment, I think. Yes. So, and a lot of people in town know Ann Lee and know how skilled she is and what a generous person she is.
Yeah.
All right, a reminder, once again, that this is an open meeting and we must adhere to the rules and regulations, which we will do. And we're down to announcements. One of the announcements, though, I'm going to make first is to notify board members that we do have a guest coming who is not on the agenda because she approached me at the fair this past Saturday about coming. And we have the ability under any other business that may properly come before the board to put her on the agenda. And I felt that it was well worth squeezing her in today. We don't have a heavy agenda as it is. She was most anxious to come. Her name is Tracy Turner. She's involved with the schools and she is spearheading a project called Act of Kindness. And she wants to talk to us about that today. So she said she would be here probably around 2:10, 2:15.
Good.
Okay? Just so you know. And I don't know anymore, essentially. She talked a little bit, but you do, David?
No, when you're finished.
Okay. It's just that I wanted you to know that she's coming. And we'll hear more from her.
All right, we should add into our agenda for next time, on a regular basis, public participation.
Okay.
Just that heading, and then that covers anybody who wants to come in and talk.
Oh,
Right. Public input.
Public participation.
public participation. Thank you. That's a
Yeah.
good suggestion.
Yeah, just add that in and you wouldn't even have to explain yourself.
Great. You're right, too. I mean, I've seen that on agendas, and so thank you for bringing it to the forefront. So I need all the help I can get, so. And I'm welcoming, I'm very open to it. Okay, other announcements. Anita has one, I think.
Well, I think Sue would probably be better to talk about it than me because we were talking about it at lunch. The wreaths that are going to Arlington,
Oh, yeah.
and you know that whether we wanted to go stand out somewhere if we knew where to stand or what time to stand,
We don't know what time.
but maybe we can find out from the fire or the police.
Well, we could let the public
What
know
is
that
it?
might be viewing this.
Like going down 495 or
Yes, yeah,
something
yeah.
and just stand there and wave?
Yes.
So these, can one of you give the history about this so that people watching
Sure.
might be able to understand it and might want to at least,
It's the Wreaths Across America organization, which provides the wreaths for the National Cemetery in Arlington and other national cemeteries. But the big caravan goes from Maine to Arlington Cemetery in DC. And they stop in various towns on the way, which I never knew, but they're not stopping in Littleton. Don't get too excited. But I looked up their schedule, and tomorrow at 1 o'clock, they are in Kittery, Maine for a ceremony. And then at 4 o'clock, they are in Princeton, Mass for a ceremony. So I would assume they are coming down 495 to get from Kittery to Princeton. That would make the most amount of sense. But time schedule is who knows when. But Anita was saying at lunch that perhaps the police, because they do have a state police escort all the way, so perhaps police may have an idea of what time. And it would just be cool to stand on the bridge.
And there's like, what, 10, 18
There's
wheelers?
10 tractor-trailer trucks of wreaths, plus vans with accompanying personnel.
Now, are these decorated wreaths or are they just green?
They're in green
You
with
won't
a
know
red
because they'll
bow.
be in
Red
great
bow.
big,
They have a red bow on them.
Yeah.
Good.
And the trucks are, I've seen the trucks before down at Arlington, and the trucks are, I mean, you can't miss them. Well, of course, you can't miss them with a state police escort, but the trucks say Wreaths Across America on them
Nice.
and have big wreaths up there too.
Nice, nice.
it is nice. And you know, I just happened to see on the news this morning on TV, a piece about the number of volunteers that are going to be distributing the wreaths at
Yes.
Arlington National Cemetery, which is where these trucks are obviously headed.
Yep. They
So,
arrive
I-
Saturday morning.
Right. So really, that's kind of exciting
Mm-hmm.
and great news. You know, I think for anybody that, so hopefully if we're not clear about where or the time yet, but
No, we don't.
people are
Park
interested.
on the bridges, though.
No, you
No.
can't.
No,
You have
you
to
could-
walk.
you
There's a
could-
sidewalk. There is a sidewalk generally on the bridge.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, you might be able to park, if you're gonna be on the bridge that's on 119, you could park maybe on White Street,
Right,
Sure.
you know,
Yep.
yeah.
or even.
On Russell Street
If you didn't
too.
mind walking, you could park at the point, you know, you could
True.
walk to the bridge.
yep,
But all along Russell Street too.
Yeah.
yep. So, that's some suggestions. If people are interested, you could pass the word. We weren't aware of it, or we could have tried to have gotten the word out earlier,
Right.
but it's okay. The wreaths, it's wreaths of
Wreaths Across
Across
America.
across the
America.
nation. Yeah, America. The caravan from Maine to Arlington is coming through. They're going to Princeton apparently, and going to be there for a ceremony at 4 o'clock. So they're figuring out and they were going to be
In Kittery at 1
at Kittery at 1. So
for a ceremony until like 2, and then Princeton at 4.
Yeah, it's an hour
But
from
Kittery from here is not that far, so
it's not
somewhere
an hour.
between 2:30 to 3:30 maybe.
they should be. Yeah.
Right.
But then you have to figure in traffic, and the traffic today was an 18-mile backup, so you don't know, you know,
Right.
what tomorrow will bring.
But they have a state police escort and everything.
wow.
So
Right down that middle lane.
we just thought it would be nice to get the word out to people if they were interested in, you know,
Yeah.
veterans might be very, very aware. Maybe even our vet agent knows more about it
That could be
Can
too.
too.
Can I just make, I don't know if this is appropriate, but I was listening to the radio this morning, and the state police are saying the Toys for Tots, they aren't getting the stuff. They've only got 50,000 gifts so far, and usually they have 180,000.
Wow.
So they're looking for, if anybody was thinking of contributing, I believe those are the right numbers, but it was very significantly less. So I just wanted to bring that up.
Okay, if people are so inclined, contribute to Choice for Tots.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Other announcements? If not, I'd like to just publicly thank Il Forno for being a wonderful host. That's a good word, yes. A wonderful host for what's becoming an annual event where they invite residents, and it sometimes gets confused because I think people have to call in and make a reservation to attend this event through the Department of Elder and Human Services, and so people make the assumption it's for seniors only, but it is not. It is for everyone in town.
In any town.
And any town.
Any town.
Correct.
Any
However, so a wonderful luncheon, free luncheon that they are putting on. I think the third serving is going on right now from 1 to 2. So, but there's limited space. They can only accommodate 75 people at a time, but they do 3 servings when they put this event on. So if you missed it this year, remember next year. So
It
I
was
would
wonderful
guess
with all the town personnel who were doing the serving.
it was wonderful. You saw everyone there, the fire chief and the selectman and our director and our outreach vice assistant director, I should say,
Except that,
and the outreach worker, and you saw everybody.
except that Liz tried to take away my meatballs so that she'd have something to eat before she.
Oh.
Yeah, I was trying to get a bite.
But you just saw everyone. We had our town manager was there, it just everybody.
Finance director, yeah.
Yeah, and-
Parks and Rec, their whole staff.
Yeah, all kinds of town employees
Policemen,
serving, and cleaning tables and just helping to make the event happen. So it's a great community event. So thank you, Il Forno.
Who arranges all of that?
Il Forno.
Il Forno?
With the
They
with the
call
town?
over
for-
to Diane Dickerson
Oh,
in
okay.
the town administrator's office, and she blasts out the email, who can help out and what time can you help,
Beautiful.
and I think the,
I just amazes me that how many were there.
yeah.
Yeah, it's really a very, very nice event. So, and my other thank you is just to all of the people that visited the Friends table at the fair last Saturday and supported seniors, because the table was made, the Friends table had a few items, like 3 gently used American Girl dolls donated, but most of the items are knit by the Loving Stitches Knitting Group and donated to the Friends to raise money for senior activities or whatever, wherever the need is. So, thank you to all of you who stopped by the table and helped us out and supported us. As well as those people who stopped by the COA table that was there. And we had, for the first time, a COA table, and it was very interesting because we had people there, board members, who were talking to people that went by, and they handed them a Dear Santa. Here is my wish list for a new senior center. And people could fill this out and contribute information. Having said that, we still want to hear from people about contributing. Here's your wish list. What do you want to see for a senior center in this town?
Are you going to be by chance handing those out or having them there for the Wednesday luncheon?
We can do that probably. We can have them there, yeah. Yep, good idea.
It might not have hurt to have had them there today, because you catch a whole different group. A lot of people I didn't know.
Well, that's true, but it would be very, all the staff were working
It was a little-
today.
A little hectic today.
Yeah, and it would have been a
Wednesday's
hard.
a great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I asked our intern if he really knew what it was like to be an intern and that he was going to serve lunch when he did that. He just laughed.
I'm meeting with this teacher tomorrow. I said, what are you going to tell your teacher about this? So this
well,
is community
it's
service.
Tell his teacher for me that he did an awesome job putting that poster together.
That's right.
Because I asked him, and he said, I'll run with it, and he did that, and I just made it a bigger poster. but he did it all, and he should be, you know,
He's very
about
commended,
that.
very
He
creative.
did,
Yeah.
he did a lot.
Yeah, so,
Really neat.
we're grateful we have him. All right, I think that's, anyone else have any announcements? That's what I come up with.
Does Dottie have one?
I just want to
Oh,
say
sure.
there's still more space for the Wednesday luncheon.
Oh,
Although
okay.
with the snow coming. I don't
Dottie,
know.
Dottie's not near a microphone, so I'm gonna paraphrase, repeat what you said, but Dottie is reminding people there is a space available for this Wednesday's Friends Luncheon at 12 noon. So it is, what's the menu?
Lasagna,
Lasagna,
salad.
salad and everything, so please come, and I think they have some entertainment. Do you? Do you have entertainment today?
Yes, the
This
Acton, what's it called?
Choir?
Acton Chorus.
Chorale,
Community chorus.
community chorus.
That's it.
So please, sign up if you would like to attend. Is there a charge?
No, $5.
$5 charge.
No.
No. Thank you, Dottie. All right, now we're going to move on, I think. Okay, under announcements, we have on our agenda the focus groups. We had set up 2 focus groups for December, knowing that the time between Thanksgiving and Christmas was very short. And we didn't feel that we'd get a huge turnout if we had too many. We also are going to talk about setting some up for January. But we have 2 set. One is this week, the 12th, at 5:30. Just call the senior center and come in. Talking about our wish list for a new senior center. So
I should take
please,
some of those.
it's an hour of your time. It's quite informative. We've had great responses from people, and we really, really, really want to hear from people.
When I was giving out the sheets, the younger crowd that I was giving them out to said that they thought that they could make these meetings and that they would attend.
Wow. Well, maybe
So
we'll
we'll
have
see.
people, I don't know if they've signed up, but they might not realize they have to sign up. But
I probably had 6 or 7 people
well, hopefully they'll
say
remember.
that they had the
Okay.
time and they would be coming. So we'll see.
So, well, hopefully.
That's
And there
not
is-
in the Action Unlimited or the Independent, is it?
No.
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 The other one, well, maybe we can get the January ones in. The second one in December is the 16th at 4:30. And they are held on the second floor of Shattuck Street, room 230, sorry.
Mhm.
So just a reminder about that, and we will talk more about December focus groups too. January. I'm a victim of the rush already myself.
too.
I think we all are, so. All right. Any other announcements? Okay, moving on then. To accepting the minutes. You have a copy of the minutes of our November meeting in your packets. And
One correction,
one correction.
under members present, I was present that day.
Oh, yep.
Sorry about that.
Well, you weren't absent either, though, because you.
No, I wasn't absent either, and I seconded a motion later on, so.
Yes, you did.
But it says you're here.
There's 2 sets of minutes. Which one are you talking about? I have 2 sets of minutes.
November 18th? It
Yes.
says you're here.
Members.
See you
Are
later.
you looking at the Friends meeting? Look at the title.
No, she's not.
She's not on my
She's
list.
not on, she's not on
Oh,
the,
she's on this one.
she's not on mine.
She's on,
weird.
she's on this one? At the top?
Absent,
She's not on mine.
I'm not absent either.
no.
Marge Payne, Patty Hunt, Bob Stetson, Maureen Donnelly, Mary Picard, Anita Harding. Oh.
Susan Lander.
Your name is,
Sure.
No,
Oh,
Sunday.
boy.
That's Friends.
I'm not there.
No, she's not there.
but neither was she absent.
No,
No, I know, she wasn't absent either, right.
She was
It's okay.
on the cloud.
All right,
Okay.
we have a fund correction. Do we all agree to that correction? Okay.
I move that the
We
minutes
accept it
be...
as corrected.
Second.
Thank you. We have to keep track of because, well, Susan can, I guess she can get it from the tape.
Yep.
Who's moving and seconding. Okay. All those in favor of accepting the November 18th minutes, board minutes?
Aye.
Aye.
Any,
As corrected.
as corrected, thank you. As corrected. Are there any objections? Any negative voting? Any abstentions? No, I think it is unanimous. Thank you. Okay.
I have a question under announcements. I don't know if it's important to make.
Go ahead.
That my craft class is changing.
Oh.
Is
I
that
think
important?
I think it's important to make. Yes, your craft class is very, very popular. Yes.
Well, it's changing to the second Wednesday of every month instead of the fourth Wednesday of every month. And in the January bulletin, I have listed all of the dates, because in February we have to do it the first Wednesday.
It's gonna coincide. Did you talk to Barbara about it? Because our dates we've already got for our lunches.
Your date is the second February for your luncheon, so I'm moving mine to the first.
Okay.
February is the only one that's the first Wednesday, so I don't conflict with the lunches.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, it's gonna be the second Wednesdays.
Okay.
And it's in the bulletin with each date.
You talking about the broadcaster when you
The
say bulletin?
broadcaster, I'm
Bulletin,
sorry.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I did find a couple of errors on the bulletin, but I will talk to you later.
The broadcast,
Broadcaster, yeah.
okay. Alrighty. That's very important, Anita. It's your group, that class is very popular.
Getting bigger and bigger.
Yes, it is.
We
All
had,
right.
we had 30 for December.
That's a lot, because that's a lot of work too to get ready for crafts. So, kudos to both Susan and Anita. Really a great job. Okay. Moving on. Can you do a friends report? I don't see Barbara here either.
No.
And Nancy Levine was planning on attending today, but her back was bothering her so badly she went home.
Well, I
So-
don't really have too much to say other than the Wednesday lunch. What happens if it's gonna snow and we have a lot of snow? Will it be canceled? Will it be open here? I don't know.
Well, it depends on the town, whether the town
Right.
closes the building. Basically,
Yeah.
that's how we operate.
Okay. And I just
We're only
wanna,
supposed to get 1 to 3 inches though, right?
Yeah,
Or
but
they
you
said-
don't know
that keeps a
if
lot
it's
of people
icy.
home. I don't even know if I can get out if it's 3 inches. But then the other thing is Friday and Saturday this week, Barbara's holding a
Oh,
Christmas
yes.
thrift shop, from the thrift shop, donations, all the Christmas items they have. It'll be in room 230, I
So
believe, on Friday. No, 233, right?
It's going to be just in the thrift shop on Friday and then in 233 on Saturday, because we have something going on in that.
Oh, okay, so the thrift
She
shop
knows, though.
on Friday,
Yeah.
okay.
If there's any sort of delay or cancellation on Wednesday, I'll send an email to everyone on the Friends group, just so everyone knows.
Well, that can go for the whole winter. Whenever anything
Right.
happens like that, it would be
Yeah.
good to have everybody notified, yes.
That's the thing, I don't know, I mean, it's gonna be less, so if anybody wants to come out in the snow, if we still have it, there'll be a lot of cancellations probably,
Well,
so
it's so hard to predict, you
Yeah, I
can't do
know.
that.
Yeah,
But
so,
hopefully it won't be bad.
but
Or
as
to
far
hold
as,
off till afternoon.
Right.
so, that's it.
Well, that's great. And so to make it clear, there is a thrift shop sale of Christmas items, decorating items, correct? So I think that's the best way to describe it.
Right.
And the sale starts Friday. On Friday, though, you'll have to go into the thrift shop itself. On Saturday, if you're coming, what are the hours Saturday?
I think
Do you
it's
know?
10 to 3, I'm not
10 to
sure.
3? Come in the morning.
10 to 2?
10 to 2?
10 to 2.
10 to 2 sounds about right. Come in the morning if you can, but anyway, if people are interested. It will be in room 233?
Three.
233. Okay, great. Thank you, Dottie. I hope everyone's well and everybody's okay. I know Nancy's not feeling well, and I hope Barbara's okay. So. And thank you for the minutes. You do have a copy of the Friends minutes from their last meeting, not last meeting, a month ago, it was
November.
November 5th. You have a copy of their minutes in your packet. You need to get caught up with their activities. Any other discussion for the Friends? Okay, moving on, we're going to go to old business, and it's 5 of 2, so I think we can probably get through that and then be ready for Tracy Turner when she gets here. Great. She had said she planned to be here around 2 or so. So an update from the working group for a senior center. Where do we start? Let's see. We had a meeting last Thursday afternoon, and at that time, Nina informed us that she will be meeting, I have to look at my notes here to make sure I'm accurate. She, Chuck and Cindy, Chuck DeCoste, Cindy Napoli, and Nina will be meeting with the architects this week, Wednesday, and they will be getting a preliminary analysis of 255 Great Road and Shattuck Street, those 2 buildings. I think I got it right. Patty, Bob, and Liz and I were at that meeting representing you. And Nina pointed out to us that this is a preliminary report, but that's good because, you know, at least we're making progress. But before anything can be officially released, the entire Board of Selectmen have to be informed about what the report states. That's the law, that's the process. But that doesn't mean we aren't going to get some general, that's my understanding, we should still be getting some general feedback. We do have a meeting scheduled this Friday for that purpose. I think
Yes.
it's this Friday. We set it up. Thursday, thank you.
Thursday.
This week, which is the day after
Then
that happens. So, that's where things stand, essentially, in a nutshell. And we'll
I had a lot of
more.
people ask me if a decision had been made yet as to whether it was going to be 255 or Shattuck Street.
Well-
Well, they're gonna give a preliminary report which will give the architects indications as to whether 255 Great Road is a viable use, whether it, for whatever, and whether Shattuck Street can be renovated or whether something more drastic has to be done.
Is that an open meeting?
It's not really a meeting. Well, it is a
It
meeting.
certainly is.
It's not a,
No, it's not.
It's a
not
working group.
An open meeting, it's not an official meeting,
it's not an official
working
meeting
group.
at all, because, and Nina has checked into that very carefully about that. It's just a working group, so.
In other words, we can't go.
Not to the Wednesday one.
We didn't say that.
You said it
could go to
wasn't,
the-
it was not an open meeting.
No, it's not.
It's not a meeting.
It's not a posted meeting.
It's not a meeting at all, and it is not called a meeting.
It's a working.
And it is a
working
working
group.
group, and I guess there is a way, and you can
Yeah.
do that legally.
Right.
So, that came up, because we were just, it was discussed at one point. So, the other issue is, the other thing that was brought up that, like Nina said she'd heard, you know, or feedback had come back to her about the fact that people were concerned about the money that has been put aside for a senior center, the $3 million. And she wanted to make it very clear that nothing can happen to that money unless it goes before a town meeting. And it is approved at a town meeting to make any changes to it.
It was voted in,
That's right.
so you have to vote it out.
It has to be, yes, and so people should not be worried about that. But I've heard stories about that too. Oh, they're gonna use the money because of whatever. And that is not, it has to go back to town meeting for that to happen. So, people need to
And we're
just
not
pay attention.
expecting it to happen, but somebody was very concerned that some people were going to try and divert the money to something else.
Which can't happen either.
Right.
Now, your Thursday meeting that you're putting together, the day after your Wednesday
No, Wednesday meeting is not us. Wednesday
That's
meeting
just
is
them.
two members of
That's-
the Board of Selectmen and the
Town administrator.
Town administrator are going to meet with the architects and get information. They're going to share some of it with us, but they cannot do that other than a working group for us until the whole Board of Selectmen has received the report. So,
That's where it's at. I think that pretty much, anybody, Patty, do you have anything to add? You were at that meeting also. That's pretty much where, and Liz,
I think that covers it.
pretty much covers what happened. It wasn't a long time together. I want to be careful not to use the word meeting now. So-
Gathering.
Gathering, yes.
does anybody know on the Affordable Housing Trust what happened to the auction?
Well, that's coming up. That's the next agenda item,
know.
is Affordable Housing Trust. Thank you. Is there any other discussion, though, about the working group and where things are? That's it. I mean, if we get more information and it's important, we'll get it out to you before our next meeting, if it needs to be shared, for sure. So. Okay, as Bob so kindly segued into our second old business item, is an update from the Affordable Housing Trust Fund. Maureen is on.
So, there is going to be a lottery for the 2 units that are available. It has not
Cooper.
happened.
Where?
The Cooper one.
The-
Cooper?
No, that's the Cooper.
Spec.
No.
That's
No.
2 units on the Cooper one, or is it 3?
I saw 3 and something just now.
Cooper had 3 and Cricket had 2, I believe.
Right.
Cooper
right.
Farm will sell 2 3-bedroom affordable units with a sale price of $236.50.
Okay. What about Cricket Lane, which also has,
That's coming up.
Cricket Lane, interesting, there's nothing here about,
Well, that has-
Jones Meadow on Cricket Lane will also have 2 affordable units with a lottery to be held at a future date.
okay.
It's coming. Cricket
Right.
Lane is coming. Then
Cricket
it's in
Lane
the
is
works.
coming, but those houses are not even built.
Right.
But the
those houses
Cooper
are-
Farm one, actually, they had their open house this past Saturday.
Saturday.
And so many of us were tied up I would love to have gone, but I was tied up all day, so didn't make that. But they did have an open house of one of the units, so people could go.
One of the lottery units.
Yes, one of the lottery units, so people could go and see it.
And when are they going to
It's
start?
in January.
January.
It's actually taking I think occurring in January sometime. I don't remember the exact date.
And there is an independent, not individual, independent group that holds the lottery.
Right.
So it is not anything that the people in the town have.
And
do it.
people outside of Littleton may apply. Yes. It's not restricted to residents of current residents of Littleton.
Neither of them is, right?
No, that's not, that's correct. It's run.
However, it doesn't mean that you can't apply.
I already got one.
So, but the state manages and sets the rules and regulations for this.
Right.
So we have no control over that, but that's, the reality is that they could get 50 applications and 30 of them can be for people that live in another town now. Or it could be reversed. It could be 50 from people in Littleton, or, and 30 from Littleton, and 20 up, who knows? Who knows? But just people need to be aware, the lottery, the amount, the cost is, I believe, $238,000?
$236,500 is what it is.
$236,500. And that's pretty reasonable for a home in Littleton.
Right, it's a 2-bedroom,
2-bedroom home.
1 garage.
One bedroom is on the first floor and the other one is on the second floor, so that it is a senior possibility. The seniors will not
That
have
is
to climb
correct.
stairs. So they could even let their grandchildren climb stairs.
Yes, that's right. So, okay. Anything else coming up?
There's a meeting tomorrow night for the
Yes.
Housing Trust.
Yep, 6:30 tomorrow night.
And those are open meetings.
They are.
How are we doing for funds for the trust?
So we got close to $500,000 a year ago. Part of that money, 10% of it, went to the rental assistance program. And 10% of that money is put aside for, maintenance is not the correct word.
Administrative costs.
Administrative costs.
Okay, and is any more money coming in?
So once a year, we can ask the CPC for money.
Okay, how about the builders? Are they, there was some.
To the best of my knowledge, there are no builders who are opting to put in money as opposed to units.
Okay.
Oh,
Interesting, yeah.
So the three units that the Fields Development is doing, and the 2 that Kennard is doing.
What about the one over at, in back of Florist?
We've not
That's
heard anything
Fields.
about it.
And who was gonna be doing
We've
that?
not heard anything about that.
Nothing? Who,
It hasn't come to affordable housing.
they're doing, doing some work there though.
Well, that's, yeah, but if you want information from that, you'd have to go to the planning board. They would know where that, and what the situation is with that development. So, but that's the source to get that information.
There was also some discussion about the possibility of more rental units coming up, rental vouchers coming up. But I will not have that information till tomorrow.
We have 2 more applications. Unfortunately, one of our first 2 that got approved decided to move out of town.
oh, really?
Bridget, was it? Yeah. So before we even got the first rental payment in.
So that opens up those two applications are available again, right?
We still have 16 openings. People have not been knocking down the door for this yet.
So,
We
I
really-
guess the question is it because the information is not getting out?
That sounds
the
like,
question.
that was my thought immediately. It takes forever for people to
Right.
get the word, it seems.
But we do, so tomorrow I asked to put on the agenda to have a discussion about the asset limit. Right now, I think we need to discuss whether we should even have an asset limit. I don't have a solution. I don't know if we should or not. I think we should have a discussion about it because it is turning people
That's
away.
at the Housing Trust Board meeting.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep. So for Mass Health, Amy, you can, community Mass Health, under 60, there is no asset limit.
Right. They only look at income coming in.
Right.
They only what?
Look at income.
So if we compare ourselves to like a Medicaid guideline, no asset look back might be a good option. Because there are people we have had to turn away because they're over.
Income.
Assets, not income.
Oh, asset.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's not a ton of assets. It's not a ton.
Especially when you're on, like you're 60 years old and it's what you have for the rest of your life.
You need to be 60 though, right?
No.
You do.
Right.
My thought is, I'm on the St. Vincent board, and we've been told about this, and I sent somebody to you last week, but I'm wondering if we should look at all of our clients that are renting, and at least send them to you.
You could do that, yeah. We've gone through all of our clients and done our outreach, everyone who would be eligible.
we haven't
and
done
spoken to
that.
us. But if you want to, yeah, I can get you some more
I think that's a good idea.
handouts, brochures, anything.
I'll get them after the meeting.
Okay.
Okay, anything else for the Affordable Housing Trust? Before we move on, about the last old business item, I neglected to make one announcement, which is very important actually for people to realize, and that when we were talking about the planning board, it popped right back into my gray matter, because LCTV has informed us that if people are wanting to watch the planning board meeting from last Thursday, the segment about the senior co-housing discussion that occurred at that planning board meeting, that is the Dr. Gruskowski's property right next door here. You must fast forward about 3 hours to get to it, because it was an horrendous meeting.
Oh, really?
They had apparently last Thursday night, the December 5th planning board meeting. So anyone that is looking to see that, just keep scrolling and fast forward through it.
Watch a
Or
few
watch the whole planning board meeting, but plan on some time. It was quite an involved meeting from what I understand.
Really?
So, yeah.
They're also doing 3 info sessions at the library in January, February, March.
Yeah. It'll be in the broadcaster so you can see the dates.
Okay.
The senior co-housing?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's another big thing that's happening in town, the co-housing.
My understanding of that, though, from the meeting that, the information meeting that I attended, was that they had, don't quote me, but I think it was 17 units, and they had sold half of them already.
Wow.
Right. They have a whole structure of how that senior co-housing works.
And this is a private enterprise.
It is a private enterprise. It absolutely is. There is a kind of like a big,
Community room?
thank you, where they encourage at least one communal meal a week. There is an expectation of people participating in activities.
There was an article in the Globe on Sunday.
Yep.
Much about this kind of a thing.
Mhm.
Because so many people are lonely
Right.
and alone. And they have their own bedrooms and things, but it's community stuff. I don't know, I'm not sure about the feeding and stuff like that, but just to have people be able to sit and talk to somebody if they wanted to.
That's so important.
David, does this sound like the kind of thing your mother was in, or is in?
No.
Well, no. Just for a second it did, but it's really not. My mother had her own apartment, her own kitchen. Okay, there was a community room that anybody could use just by saying, hey, we're gonna use the room, we're having a birthday party.
Yeah.
But there was very seldom any organized
Did they have activities?
activities. No, they had a table with puzzles, there was a piano, there was a movie screen if you wanted to do stuff like that. But basically, it was just open for people to do whatever they wanted, and there was nothing organized.
Were there meals?
No meals, unless, well, I remember my mother saying one time they had a community supper.
Mm-hmm.
One time, and all the time that she
But they
lived
don't
there.
serve meals at that.
My mother belonged to one in Air down on Pond Street, next to the senior center down there. And she had her own bedroom and her own bathroom, but she shared the kitchen and the living room. So she could cook her own meals.
With how many people?
There was 6 apartments,
So they
So-
just had one kitchen.
one kitchen.
Yeah.
And so the refrigerator was big enough that they could square off areas for each people to have their own food, and they could cook, they could bake, or they could go over to the senior center for lunch.
Forgive me, but that sounds horrible.
Yeah,
That sounds like living
because
in
if somebody didn't like, someone moved in who didn't want anybody cooking in the kitchen and making any smells, and there were people who liked to cook and bake, and so it was kind of not a good place. It just,
Problems coming with that.
all kinds of problems with that.
There's a lot of different models out there. This one just sounds like you're buying a private residence that happens to have a more neighborhood community atmosphere.
And my mother's was a rental too, it wasn't a buy it was rental.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, well, good, thank you. All right,
Interesting.
I think we can move on. We're done with the Housing Trust Fund. to the visibility of the COA, and, you know, we've kept that on the agenda because that's kind of one of the things that we are thinking and we should be focusing on all the time now, is, as we have been doing, it's been kind of busy, I'll say. But, you know, like the table at the football game and the table at
The fair.
the fair. I would like to bring up the fact that we didn't have, somehow or other, we need to remind the people in town, the powers that be, that we should have senior parking for the fair, I think. I know
A lot of
I,
people did not come in.
Correct.
Because they could not find a place
just
to
to
park.
park. And I
Oh,
went up
that's
to,
wonderful.
I went up to the policeman that was on duty. And, you know, sometimes the policemen are not from town. They're hired from other towns to come in for those special details.
He was not amenable to helping.
No, he was terrible. He laughed at me.
Ooh.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. I walked up to him and said, there was parking, you know, it says fire lane up there.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
not
he's
near the
moving people
school.
out.
Not near the school, but even down, you know, as you came in around on the side, people were parked. And I had pulled into a place there when I got there. And I thought, and there was room still up, not close to where he was. And so, actually, my daughter, we were switching. I was parked there because I knew I had to switch.
Vehicles.
No, I had to switch, empty my trunk
Oh.
with my grandson's hockey gear and overnight bag and all this stuff into my daughter's vehicle, etc. So in the meantime, my daughter said to one of my grandchildren, go over and ask that policeman if Nana can pull over there and park and see that spot there. And so he went over and spoke to the policeman and came back and said no. He said no. So anyway, I left my vehicle where it was because there were other cars parked there. And I walked, when I get over there, I asked him about it. I said, excuse me, but how come there's no senior parking out here? And he looked at me and said, I have nothing to do with that.
Well, he probably doesn't if he's
And I
coming
said,
out.
well, that's true, but I just wondered if you, maybe we have to go through the powers that be
I think so.
to make sure that happens. And I said, but no one, there are vehicles parked back over there, and I pointed down there, and I said, can I pull my car up there? There's another spot there. Are you kidding? No, you can't do that. And he was laughing at me.
I think we need to talk.
Just a quick question. I know that there's handicap, but there's no such thing as senior parking.
Well, there is.
Much as I'd like to see that.
Well, there is, because we worked it out with the transportation group in town and through Diane Crory. And I know if we mention it to Diane makes, if you notice, at town meetings, there
Yeah,
is the
spaces.
front, they are marked, and there are signs out saying senior parking
Yeah.
only.
Mhm.
And so I think what we have to do is talk to Diane about things like the art, and just anytime there's an event going on like that, maybe remind her or ask or something. Come in, come in. Come in.
Right up here.
Tracy, right? Yes, have a seat.
Can I just add something to that?
Have a seat, and we'll finish up and let you have our ears.
I think we should actually talk to the, Mr. Pennard,
Right, we can,
because there has to be a list of, yes, you will be courteous to these people. Yes, they can do this. Yes, there are special situations. You know, if they're gonna come and.
well, he's very good.
I know he is, but he may not know that this guy acted like that.
Well, I know, and I was kind of taken back, because he really wasn't very,
He wasn't amenable.
Was he a Littleton policeman?
No, I don't believe he was, and that's what I said when I started. I know that sometimes the police department hires policemen
right,
from
yeah.
Boxborough or other towns to come and to do special details, you know, when none of our local policemen want to do the job or whatever, so, but we need to be, I'm mentioning it only because I think we need to be more vigilant about that and make sure that the senior parking is there. It was unfortunate last Saturday I saw a lot of seniors having great difficulty, and he did allow people to pull up and then get, if you could do it, because here's the kicker. If you have somebody that needs help
He's not
with a
gonna-
walker, and you only have yourself and that person, then I don't think it was allowed. If there were three of you, so the driver could move the car away right away, once you got the person out with the helper, then it was okay. You know, so, yeah.
Are you going to talk to Chief Bernard?
Well, I can, or you can, or whatever.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, no, I
Just with your
think,
complaint about
I'll let him know, yeah, the behavior, I will, I can call him and give him a
But the other thing too to keep in mind is, how, just think for a second how many people work the bazaar.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's working the bazaar, and all those people that work it are parking right out front. And they
Oh,
really
we
shouldn't.
We parked
We
in the
parked
back.
way out back.
No, a lot of people parked out front. that
Oh, we
work there.
parked in the back.
Okay.
Well, there's not a lot of places in the back, and especially this year because the snow. Normally out back, when there's no snow, people go pull head in on the grass. But this time, the snow prevented that, and so
Oh, yeah.
really the parking out back was very limited.
And you'd think that they would know it because the bazaar is the bazaar.
Well, I know, but you know, and people, but the thing, you're right, David, though, people, the workers should not be allowed to be parking out in the, where
Well,
it's
and that's
easily-
one of those things that you have to police yourself, because you can't tell who's working and who's not, so it's just gonna have to be by an
Yeah.
honor system.
Yep,
you know.
It has
But
affected a lot.
That's one
of-
reason, I mean, the thing starts at 9 o'clock, well, by 8:15, it's all full anyway, because all the people working it. You know, some people unload, and like you say, some people park out back.
well, I had, you
Not
know,
everybody.
it's funny, because my daughter was coming up, and I had said to her, and we knew we had to do this juggling, and I had said to her, you know, parking's going to be impossible, because if you're not there at 8:30 in the morning, you can't get a spot anyway. And now, and then I got tied up, you know, and got there late anyway. And she got here ahead of me, but she texted me and said, "You're right, parking's impossible."
And there were a lot of people coming over from the football area. I saw them walking.
Yeah.
When I
But
went
there weren't
out,
that many
they were
spaces
coming over.
anyway.
The problem is that there's a lot of snow.
Sunday night at
But
the
even
tree
without
lighting
snow, sometimes
on the
it's-
common, there were very few people this year. They come in to decorate cookies at the church afterwards, and there was nowhere near the crowd that we've had, because there's just no place to park, it's very difficult.
And there's cars there every hour of the day now, right along the common.
Right.
You know, it's like they're using it as a public something or other.
Well, I think the businesses, you know, the Littleton Sub Shop, and then there's some other businesses in there now too, and there is people parked there all the time,
That's for sure.
so, yeah. All right, so David has to leave, he has an appointment he's going to, so thank you, David, for coming.
You're welcome.
And your input.
Next meeting is next month,
And next month, the second, it's on your January 13th.
so in that case, Merry Christmas, everybody.
And same
Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
We don't bump into everybody, so.
Well, even if we do, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Thank you.
So we can come back to our last agenda item, because I'd like Tracy Turner.
Yes.
I don't remember the name. And I think it's called, Liz reminded me, I said kindness, it was something kindness. I
Yes.
remember that, it's called Act of Kindness.
Great Kindness Challenge.
Oh, Great
Yes.
Kindness Challenge.
You've got the spirit of it.
Okay. And well, if you can just inform the board a little bit about yourself and who you are, what you're doing, and
So I
Bring us
am
up to
Tracy
date.
Turner. I work at Littleton High School. And my colleague, who was actually supposed to be here with me today, I'm assuming she got tied up at school, we are doing a district-wide program called the Great Kindness Challenge. And this is actually an international program that's done. It takes place the last week of January. I have some information. I wasn't sure how many people were going to be here. So I'll pass this around. As you can see from this, over 110 countries are involved in this. And it's basically an anti-bullying sort of program for kids. But what we're finding, and I was a person who did a lot of research on bullying. I have my doctorate. I wrote my dissertation on bullying. We can tell kids, no, 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 don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. It doesn't matter. What we need to do is teach kids what to do. And so that's what this does. It sort of creates the definition of what is kindness. So you can say to a kid, you know, be good, but then you say to that kid, well, what does that mean? They say, I don't know. They don't know. So this actually teaches kids how to do acts of kindness. And it's a week-long thing. We will have all kinds of activities. So what we're looking for is community involvement for Monday morning, which is January 27th. And what we want to do is, so this is going to be district-wide. All 4 schools are participating in this. And we're looking for community members to be at the 4 schools. And you can choose whatever school. You don't have to do them all. Obviously, middle, high school get to school at the same time. And maybe you like to sleep in and you want to do Shaker Lane. That's okay, too. But we want to have community members at all 4 schools for what they call a kindness tunnel. And what that is community members will line up just for, as the kids arrive, it doesn't take long, 15 minutes or so, as kids are coming in with the buses, and they will walk through the kindness tunnel of adults, community members being out there. You can high five them, you can good morning, shake their hands, whatever it is that you want to do. So we're actually looking at a lot of organizations. We've talked to the school committee, we'll be talking to the selectmen, the town manager. We wanted to make sure that we got to you, because that's, Council on Aging is so important in so many towns, and I don't just say that because I'm sitting here with all of you. That made a difference, a big difference with my grandparents in their life, and I appreciate everything that you guys do. And I think it's nice for kids to see so many different people out there. So we're going to talk to the police department, the fire department. We talked to CPAC, which is the Special Education Council. We're going to get Park and Rec involved, the veterans. So we're reaching out to all these different groups in the community. And what we realized with the Thanksgiving being so late, and Jen and I were just kind of thinking, oh, well, we have all this time, but my God, it's December already.
You don't have all that time.
We don't. We really don't. So we would love if as many as you want, could come to the schools. You can even, like I said, pick schools if you want to do a couple of schools, different schools. You could probably stagger. Littleton and the high school and the middle school typically get to school on time, so you probably wouldn't be able to do both of those.
What time is that?
So they start coming in at 7 o'clock in the morning.
The high school?
The high school and the middle school.
And this is the week of the 27th.
The 27th of January,
Yep.
yes. And I can get all the start times. I can actually email it to you, Liz,
Okay,
because.
sure. So Russell Street School, I know that school starts at 8:05.
Okay, that's helpful, thank you.
Because my granddaughter goes
Oh,
there.
okay.
I
Is
would
that
just
Russell
like to add
and Middle?
something. I actually am on the Council of Churches in
Oh, okay.
Littleton, and I know they're looking for different projects.
I would love that.
And we have a
is the
meeting on the
meeting?
12th, which is a Sunday in January. We
Okay.
just had a meeting.
Okay.
And we are looking for this kind of thing to get people aware and get people to verbalize. And I was going to talk to you guys about it later, but anyway, but I think that would be ideal because they're all very receptive. And I can give you the name of someone if you'd like.
Yeah, that would be great, thank you. I'll do that and I can contact them. So I think, not only are we trying to do this into the schools, but we really want this to be a community-wide event. We actually have a press release that's going to go out. I have to go across actually and talk to Dr. Clenchy. But we're going to get the Littleton Independent involved. We're going to give them a press release, hoping they come to take pictures. We're going to send it out to the Lowell Sun. We're going to make it a big
Action
deal.
Unlimited.
Oh, yeah, make sure you.
Action Unlimited.
Ooh,
Because
what's that?
that's
Much more important than
It's that little book that comes
not the
through.
Little Independent, because there isn't any. It's now,
No.
It's now the
The
Eagle.
Eagle. It's not, it's hard to get them to publish anything in
Really?
town.
Yeah.
Just try, keep trying.
Yeah, oh, okay.
don't hesitate, but it,
The
Yeah.
Eagle is one?
Well, the Eagle
The Eagle is
is
the
from
name.
Littleton Independent.
It's Westford,
Oh, okay.
it's Westford, Chelmsford, and Littleton.
And
Well,
what's
it's
the thing that
Westford
you just
and
said?
Action Unlimited.
Right.
Action
Yes.
Unlimited.
Action
.com.
Unlimited.
There was no
It's a
Littleton
little
police report.
book or a little
There
pamphlet
was
book that
Chelmsford and
has
Westford.
all sorts of
The
activities,
last
and I
two
think it's
weeks.
free to get stuff in
Nothing.
there.
Really?
Okay.
And they're really good about putting information in the Action
Oh,
Unlimited.
nice, okay.
Give me your email address.
Oh, thank you so much.
Here you go.
Thank you. See, you guys
Yeah,
are always
it's
just a
very-
wealth of information.
Well,
So
very
this
difficult.
tunnel is going to be on that Monday.
Yes.
So that's
So that's
January
gonna-
23rd.
That's good, 27th,
Oh, 20
so Monday morning.
Okay,
That's gonna kick everything off.
Okay.
And then we will have activities within the school all week long for kids. So what we're hoping to do, the way we're setting it up, and we're working with all 4 schools, Jen and I work at the high school, but we're in touch with administrators at the other 3 schools. And we're creating these schedules. There'll be spirit days, contests for the kids to do. But the goal is for 100% participation rate in this, so that every kid and every staff member and every administrator is going to do at least one random act of kindness throughout the week. Hopefully more.
That's good.
But yes, and it's going to be, something that you don't typically do. If you're a kid who always stands at some class and holds the door, that's fantastic. We love that. But do something different. Do
Right.
something for someone that you don't really know. And so we'll be doing sort of like, concrete instruction for kids about how you go about doing these things. Why do you do it? Teaching empathy skills and all of that, because that's really where we want to go in terms of social emotional learning for kids. Because as parents, and I'm sure that most of you know this, or all of you know this, we teach our kids to walk, we teach our kids to talk, get you dressed, brush your teeth. We don't teach our kids about feelings. And empathy, we just assume that all the things that we're doing is going to teach those kids that. And now, it's different. When I grew up anyway, I wasn't glued to my phone or an iPad or something. And these kids, the socialization skills are so important, and
They're so
empathy is
bad.
at the heart of that. So that's what we're hoping to really improve.
And are you going to contact the churches also?
I can. I don't live here, so this is great. Every time I talk to someone, they say, you should call them. And
Because, some of the young people that are either in the Catholic Church are making something and they have to do some community service or something,
it's community service, yeah. Come stand outside in the cold and
Yeah.
say hello to kids as they come in, because January, that's the thing that
What's a
stinks.
snow day?
Yeah, I know.
And we should maybe make it go further and bring it into the town hall and the fire and the police station, and they all have to challenge each other to do an act
Love
of
that.
kindness, to spread it even more.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Melrose, it was on TV 3 weeks ago, that Melrose did this. It started small, and it got into the businesses, doing acts of kindnesses. It got into the restaurants, and they had a big thing on TV. All of Melrose did this, the entire town. So if we could spread that,
Well, how
That would be-
how can the COA board, also model that?
because we send people to the fire station, the police station, the town hall, and say, during this week, what is your
love that.
challenge? And who are you challenging? Like, I challenged Liz to do X as an act of kindness. Funny story, over the weekend I was at the mall and I was getting Chinese food. So I said to the man in front of me, I'll pay for your food.
Pay it, yeah.
And he
Oh,
went,
yeah.
no, I'm okay, I'm fine, I can handle it on my own. And I'm like, no, that's fine, I know you can handle it on your own, but I'm paying your lunch. Now you go pay somebody's lunch. Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I've
So
done that many
That's,
times.
Yeah,
that
that's
gets
nice.
things started.
Pay it forward.
Pay it
Yes.
forward.
Pay it forward,
Yes.
yeah.
Right.
So I also, if you're
Right.
interested in
He
doing
didn't
that,
understand that.
He didn't get it, no.
not used to people being nice, I
But see,
guess.
that's a
No,
younger,
well, that's it.
that's a younger group. He was probably 25. They
Yeah.
don't understand that.
No,
So we actually have this huge toolkit that the Great Kindness Challenge sends us. I will try to get the pages that are just, here's some random acts of kindness that you can do. So if you're going to talk to people, you can actually give them something and
Well, that'd
say,
be great.
here's
Well,
some
that would be
ideas.
good.
I'll get that to you. The toolkit is like 130 pages. I'm not going to send that to you. because
Please, we don't have time
yeah,
to read it
no,
between now
I
and
didn't
then.
really have time to read it either, but I can do that for you and get that. So that's
Now, do
really
the
nice.
schools know it's coming?
Yes. So we actually, I talked to my principal about it, bless you, because this is my first year. I'm not only a special ed teacher, I'm also a social worker. So all of this social emotional stuff and bullying, and that is really important to me and with students anyway. And this is my first year at the high school since I've been there in 9 years that I have an advisory. And we do advisory activities. So I thought, October's Bullying Prevention Month, I want to do something. But I don't want to, don't bully, don't be a bully, don't watch somebody bully somebody else. Kids are sick of hearing that.
That's
At
right.
this point, it's just, white noise for them. I said, we got to do something more positive. And I found this. And so I presented it to my principal and said, I want to do this here. And he said, you know what? Why don't you present it to the admin council, which was all the administrators in the district with Dr. Flinchie. And he was all over it and said, yeah, I want us to do this. So we're doing it district-wide to everybody.
That's really
which
nice.
is nice, yeah.
Very good.
So the kids are going to find out, our kids are going to have, we sort of assigned kindness ambassadors, where kids are going to present this next Monday in our extended advisory. And we've already talked about it with the teachers for staff meeting, and they said, we need to model this. So the Great Kindness Challenge actually has, and I'll send these to you too, they actually have little certificates that you can give each other. So I'll send that to you too.
That's a cute idea.
It's a great idea.
Excellent.
So are the kids buying into this?
They will.
They don't know about it yet, right?
Next week. Some of the kids, yes. So we have a bunch of kids who are, some of the clubs that we run, kids who are leaders in inclusion and kindness and things. Like I run the Pals Club, which was formerly Best Buddies. We stopped doing Best Buddies because we have to pay to use the name. So we call it Pals now. And these are kids who take initiatives and make friendships with kids with disabilities who are in our collaborative program that is housed in our building. So we said to them, you know, why don't you help us present this? Because if the kids present it, then the kids have more buy-in. So we're going to make T-shirts for them that say Kindness Ambassador, because that's something that the Great Kindness Challenge does. And so we want to make it cool to have a T-shirt for these kids. So we have pretty good, we have good advisors who can work with kids to do this. And really what we're asking kids to do is not much anyway. So, yeah. So,
Be nice to one another.
yeah. So we're hoping, and if there are some kids who say, I'm not doing that, well, that's diagnostic to us. Like, we need to, you know, what's going on? Yeah, what's going on? Why are you even refusing to hold the door for somebody, you know? We're not asking you to go out and buy gifts. That's not what we're asking you to do. So I am optimistic that we will have 100% participation rate across the district.
Okay, sounds
Yes.
wonderful.
So I will maybe email some stuff to you. Thank you so much.
That would be good.
I appreciate your support and your participation, and the kids will be so happy to see you outside.
So are we signing up? How
I
is
will.
that
You know what
gonna
I'll do?
work?
I'll send something to Liz to get a list of names and figure out whatever. And honestly, I'll get. I'll do arrival times for each school, and you can choose where you want to be. Whatever's easy.
Or what about when they are going home?
They're not. Well, that's going to be more difficult. Some kids don't get on the bus to go home, and so just when they
walkers
arrive,
and-
walk through the kindness challenge, the kindness tunnel.
They gotta get into the building somehow, yeah, when it
Right.
starts, so. Every one of them.
Yeah, perfect. All
And the
right.
school doesn't open till a
Whatever,
particular time.
Yes. So I'll send all that information to you. Thank you so much. All right.
Well,
Thank you for taking the time to listen to me.
That's really exciting.
Yeah, we're
I'm so glad
excited.
you
I know. And
approached
thank
me.
you for dragging me all over the place so that I was meeting the people that I
She came
needed
up
to
to the
meet.
table and Mary says, "Come with me."
Yeah, no, it was good. I was like, I don't know where I'm going, but I'm just gonna follow
I
you.
just held her hand,
Yeah.
she couldn't get away from
Yeah,
it.
as many, I mean, it doesn't have to just be all of you either. It can be whoever wants to participate. We'd love to have them.
Yeah.
The more people at these doors in the morning, the better.
Have some brownies.
And the
and-
I would, but thank you so much. I don't eat dairy or anything, so
The
thank you
parents
so
should
much.
know.
I appreciate it.
The parents should know.
Yes, they will get, they have family toolkits that we'll be sending home so that parents can do
Great.
this stuff at home too.
Good.
Yeah, thank you.
Sounds
Right.
good.
Thank you
Perfect.
so much.
That's a great, yeah, it's actually, hey, seniors. can do it, too.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Well, I wouldn't congratulate me like when I didn't do it yet.
Oh, well.
The other piece is that if, you know, once we do this once, we're signed up to do this every year. This will be something that we do every year going forward.
Oh, nice.
So I love that you're going to get other people involved. Make those firefighters be nice, right? Those police officers be nice.
Oh, they are, they really
They are. I know,
so.
they're very, very nice.
In our town, they are.
They are, yes. No, they are. I agree with that. All right, well, thank you so much.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Wow, that's exciting, actually. Yeah, very exciting. Bye-bye. Oh, wow. All right, we got some more work to do now. Some more, which is talking about visibility, it segues right into that whole thing,
Oh,
because
we're gonna be more visible
I know.
on the 27th of January
And before
in the
that,
kindness tunnel.
maybe we can organize
Well, that's what I'm thinking.
the town hall, the police, the fire.
Mm-hmm.
We can work with those, and then maybe somebody could work with businesses.
Unless Liz wants to go with the captain of the fire, and then if they want more information and we get more information, we can give it to them or present
Well, I
something.
think maybe digest it
Yep.
for the three of you, figure out how the board can help you,
Yeah.
and
talk.
what role we could have in that. I think that would be probably the best, that might be
That'd be
one of
the
the
way to start,
a
yeah.
way to start, to help and guide us, and so everybody's on the same page, and they have a sense of things that we don't have.
Right.
Yeah. So
Maybe
you think-
something on the TV.
Yeah, well, that's another thing. We were talking about visibility, and we talked about having this TV show a long time ago, and we
Yeah.
haven't got, I mean, we've been dealing with so many things, you can only do so much, but we need to tackle that whole project idea and decide if we're gonna
This would
help
be,
Liz with that if she wants to continue
First
to
of
do
the
it.
year.
this would be a good way to start.
Well, I'm
First of the year.
I
Have the
figured,
first-
because you could, yeah,
Have the first TV show,
in January.
seniors talking about this and getting it going.
I don't know.
Unless we had her come on to a TV show, like with Barbara or something, and she could explain the preset, the concept.
I don't
of this.
know if we can pull that off in January, because, that's kind of fast. I mean, given the fact that we haven't done one of these shows yet. And we were talking about having it be like the last week of the month anyway,
Yeah.
to be able to put out all of the special events coming up the following month, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that would be hard to get this particular project out then.
Right.
Yeah. But anyway, but the whole thought about the show is something that, I think is great for visibility. But again, it's gonna take work from everybody pitching in and helping out, and so I don't know how we wanna proceed on that, if we wanna proceed, if you wanna proceed with it too.
I'd love to proceed. I just need help
So.
What do you need?
Yeah, what do we,
scheduling the time to do it, when organizing people to get together to do it, creating the script or the flow of information that we're going to talk about.
is that anything that, Ryan, is that his name?
Ryan.
Okay.
I have
How
to
long
stop
is he
and say,
gonna be-
Ryan, what, no,
All
no.
year.
Oh, all year.
Yeah, is that
Till
anything he could
May.
help with,
Yeah, okay.
if he has the
Add
time?
it to his plate.
I don't know what you guys are doing, it's not my
Yeah.
job anyway, but I'm just throwing out
How
ideas.
long is he here for?
Until May.
Until May, he's here for the whole
Yeah.
year then, okay, great. My wife asked me that this morning and I said I didn't know.
Till May.
I know, because, that show is a lot of work. I mean, obviously, you're creating the script alone. And then thinking about, because you have to do it every month. I don't know how Barbara McRae does a monthly show and how she does.
I was gonna say, she could probably interview,
Interviewed that woman, and it would, she already
Have
has
her
the
on a talk show.
capabilities of having done it many times before, and maybe,
I don't know how Tracy wants to proceed with that, but herself.
I'm sure if Barbara McRae called and asked her, she might be interested.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it sounds like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds like
But-
When
it.
Tracy emails me, I'll mention
There we go.
the show. What's it called? Littleton Common?
No, Littleton Cable TV.
Well,
No,
Barbara's
no,
show
no, Barbara's
is
show.
called-
What's the title of her
I think it's
show?
Littleton Common.
I think that sounds familiar.
I think so.
Yeah. So, okay, well, as far as the show goes, then for like a Elder and Human Services monthly show, let us know what we can do to help with that. And then we can support that effort, I think.
Well, I told you that Sue and I are willing to help with that.
yes. Yeah.
Let us know what you need.
And I'm sure each one of us can find a niche, something that we might feel comfortable doing that would be helpful. If we want, it's just a lot of organization that has to go into it.
Yeah,
and a
it's
lot
just the
of thought.
logistics of scheduling it and
Right.
making sure everyone's available, and I mean, it really isn't that hard, but just
No, but what about,
I
will
mean,
it be the next day
with
if
everything
it's a
else.
snow day? No, I'm serious about that,
We
or
don't
are they
have an
not gonna
answer to
do-
that.
Well, no, but I'm asking, are they going to move it to the next day if by chance we had a snow, and the schools were
school.
canceled?
Right.
anything's possible.
Oh, you're talking about this event?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I don't know,
Oh.
have to find, that's something else you
Yeah.
can
I
ask
don't
her.
know.
So, yeah, well,
No, I know we don't know, but.
Kirby also said,
It has
when
to
he
be
came
done.
into the Greens class,
Yeah.
that if I would like him to take pictures and come in during the classes and put that on TV, he'd be glad to do it every month.
that would be nice.
Great.
Good.
That can be part of the show.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
exactly
There
right.
you
It
go.
would be perfect.
We got one segment.
Yes. That's a good,
No, but that's a,
that would be
he
great,
said he'd
yes.
be willing to do that. I didn't ask, he came to me, and I said, oh, I like that idea.
So we could get more of that, if you could even get something from some of the other groups that are going on, the yoga groups and Stretch and Flex and those things, so that people could see segments of something maybe That would be,
Once a month, put a segment of what we're doing.
yeah. So,
Or just have a video that they can look at it and say,
well, that's
what's
what,
interesting.
the calendar is supposed to be, the information is supposed to be getting out. I know, I don't know, I'm gonna have to look again, because maybe I missed it.
I talked to Kirby about it.
Did you?
We fixed it, yeah.
You fixed it?
Yeah.
Oh, it wasn't me
There's
then, it wasn't, it was just,
No,
oh.
no, it was a design setting.
I was
We had to
horrified.
change.
Yeah, because I was sitting there thinking, a couple of weeks ago, I was going to attend a selectmen's meeting, and then it was, after that, the snow we had, the Sunday and Monday snow. And I was really tired Monday night. As it turned out, the selectmen's meeting was canceled because of the snows. But anyway, not knowing that at the time, I turned the TV on. I thought, well, I'll watch the meeting. And all I got was a thing of Mark Crory, and then he would welcome you and, make his little blurby talk spiel. And then they would run all these flashes of events that were going on at the library all month long. And I'm like, how come there's nothing up there for Elder and Human Services? There's nothing. It's all library. And I forget, there was one other group. I think it was another knitting group, not the Loving Stitches group, but
Yeah, they have one over at the library.
yeah. Oh, maybe it was their group. And I'm like, wow, how did they get that? So I mentioned it to Liz, and she said, we're supposed to have time like that. So,
Yeah,
It
we
got
do slides
fixed.
every month.
yeah, so, well, that's going to be happening.
Okay.
But, okay, so any other ideas and thoughts about things that we can be looking ahead to other than the TV show and how we might be helpful to Liz with that and participate in it? I know it's the holidays, and I'm sure your plate is full, as is mine. Everybody's kind of,
Like I said, after the first of the year.
yeah. So, but
And
if
December is totally chock full.
it is, I think, for everybody. So, and I'm not asking for anything for December. I'm just asking that we all continue to think outside of the box as far as things that we can continue to do to like the table at the fair and be creative in getting the word out. So, and I still would like I'm going to try to put something together I love this idea. And maybe I'll use, as I said, steal from Bob, just saying, are you going to get old? Maybe we should just, whatever I send out to, I would like to send a blurb out to the chair of the different boards in town about our focus groups. Did you set any dates for January yet?
I didn't.
No?
You know,
Okay. That's okay.
nobody has signed up for the 2 that we
Really?
have yet. Yeah.
Oh.
So I don't know if this is just too difficult of a time in December.
Well, it might be. I know I'm feeling it personally.
Yeah, and I know those times sometimes are difficult for people that are working. And especially with the way the traffic is going.
It's very bad.
Yeah. Well, maybe we should. What do we do now with people said they were going to be coming? Anita said she.
What about a Saturday morning coffee?
Do that?
We were talking about, and Bob feels strongly we have to have 2 in the evening.
Right, but I mean, on a Saturday, you could have a coffee. Because people are out, who goes to the grocery store, who's going to the dump, who's got errands in their common.
They're not going to go for. I don't think they're going to come for coffee either.
And then the kids all have the extra, I mean, your kid could get crazy.
It's hard because I
I
don't know.
think we ought to move on.
All right. Well, move on to reports. Keep thinking about things, though, please. If you have a bright idea, send it to Liz, the idea to Liz, and then we'll go from there.
Okay, we have 2 more to go.
Yeah. All right, director's report. So this past Saturday morning, the Courtyard Marriott did put on a breakfast with Santa for our outreach families, and they allowed us to invite 50 people. I think there were only 7 who weren't able to attend. They put on such a nice event. They had a full brunch, then they had craft activities for the kids. Every kid got a stocking with goodies and books and snacks in it. And then Santa came, and Santa gave each child a wrapped gift that was specific to them based on their age. And it was just such a really nice event. So we can't thank everyone at the Marriott enough for all they did for our families. People were so happy. The kids were so happy. It was really nice. Yeah.
How did we choose who went and who didn't go?
We chose the families who we actively work with.
In what?
Outreach.
Okay.
So people we talked to, and then we also shared the information with Parks and Recreation for the families they work with, who we also kind of overlap
Right.
with.
Okay.
Right. Did we do?
We opened it to pretty much anyone.
Yeah.
Because they had thought of like a grandparents
Yeah.
bringing their grandkids, so
We invited.
we kind of put it out there for everyone.
Yeah. So that was nice. And then there was also the holiday Helpers 5K this past weekend, and Nicole had arranged to get some Littleton Coalition Against Addiction swag in the swag bags that they gave out. So we had some really nice Stop the Stigma, what were they, lip balms?
Yeah.
Yeah, and some information about the Littleton Coalition Against Addiction in there. Nicole and I have been working on grants lately. I did one with Emerson for caregiver support that also tied into memory cafes in town, so I worked with Annalie a little bit. This was a $5,000 grant, so I think I hear this week whether or not we will receive it. And then Nicole also pursued a $5,000 grant with Neshoba Valley, and that was for the Littleton Coalition Against Addiction. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
All kinds of PR stuff. I don't think I'll hear until January on that one, but yeah.
So it's been a really, really busy month. A lot of writing to be done. Next on my list to talk about.
Could I ask a question?
Sure.
Do you work at all with the group that meets at the Baptist Church a couple of nights a week, the Lisbon?
Just slide it
I think they're basically a self-sustaining group.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I think we were.
And it's kind of, that's anonymous. I wouldn't want to go in there.
Thanks.
So last meeting, at the very end, we briefly touched upon the Stretch and Flex class fee. So out of all of our classes are $3 mainly, except Stretch and Flex is $2. I've talked to Carol Wing on her thoughts about this. It would make life easier for her if it was also $3, just to be consistent with all the other classes. So I just wanted to get your sense how you feel about raising a program fee from $2 to $3.
As long as we are willing to provide and let people know that they can apply for scholarship if they can't afford it, I'm all for it.
Yep.
I think
I
that
am
most of
too.
the people there can afford the $3.
Right before Thanksgiving, I printed out and I hung up about 10 full color flyers about scholarships. You'll probably see them around. They say
Right.
notice or attention COA class participants, and it's all about the scholarship. They're every end of the hallway, upstairs, downstairs. We would definitely still not be making a profit on this class. It's not raising it to make a profit of any sort. We would still not even be breaking even on this.
How much are the instructors getting now? Last I knew it was $50 a session.
No.
It's
Every instructor charges a different rate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it goes from $30 to $80 an hour, depending on who it is.
Wow.
The only concern I would have about that is that I think there's only one other class that meets twice a week. So most of the classes, like oh Lord, I wish I had a brain. The groups that, like the yoga meets one day a week.
Yeah.
And the dance
Chi.
class meets one day a week.
Twice a week.
The dance class meets twice a week?
And that's
Okay.
$5 per
Yeah.
class, yeah. Tai Chi meets 3 times a week for $3.
Each.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
It's just it's the last class that's $2. And every month for the last year, the billing, we're bringing in about 60% of the coverage.
And we try to get across to people that if they are paying in $2 a week, whatever, they can get from us a list of the classes that they've attended, and if they send it into their Medicare insurance, a lot of the insurance companies, mine is Blue Cross, they immediately send me a check for the entire amount, up to $300 or something like that.
Yeah.
Tufts is 150.
Tufts is only 150.
I think we have to.
I think we should.
Yes, I think we have to. We really should increase it. It's $1. You know.
I absolutely would not want to price anybody out
No.
of attending the class. Looking at the surrounding councils on aging, a lot of the programs are $3, $4, $5, or $10 for a series. And I also don't want to spring this on anyone, so I wanted to maybe discuss a timeline. Is this something that we should do in January, or is this something you think should start with the fiscal year in July?
Or even just September.
Next September?
Why September?
I don't know, I just like September.
The other thing is, maybe a monthly fee, that if someone paid monthly, it would be a little less than if you know, like lots of places where you go, if you
That'd be hard to
buy a
find.
monthly fee, it's less than if you do individuals.
Right.
But you
No,
get
you-
bookkeeping involved in that.
Yeah, I would love to be able to accept credit cards, to do a more advanced billing system, but we only have 15 hours a week of office help
Okay,
at that
at that level.
level.
Now, when you say that, are you talking about just one class, or they would pay, let's say, $30 a month?
Like I know that
and
my
they could
daughter
do
goes to
everything?
kickboxing. If she pays by the month, it's less than if she paid individually for classes.
The Masons offer their monthly supper for $8 if you pay $80 a year, or $10 if you don't. And so over a period of.
Right, you'd save money.
You're
I
gonna.
mean, that might be something to consider.
I
But I
absolutely
agree,
would. We had more
bookkeeping is
staff.
going to be a big,
The
big
booking,
problem
yeah.
with that.
Well, that's the bookkeeping, right now. So,
Some thoughts on the timeline?
January.
Timeline,
January.
I think, well, it doesn't give you much time to get the word out.
No.
You're talking 2 weeks.
And I was thinking, if you do it in July, a lot of people are away, so they're not even going to pay attention to that, where if you do it when the schools and all that stuff come back and people are looking at the broadcaster.
I mean, I don't think we need to go 9 months, but I think at least a couple of months so that we can get the word out.
why? What's the difference? I mean, if it's in the broadcaster, I'm just being
All right,
devil's
so
advocate.
already the broadcaster is done for January, right?
The 10th.
Tomorrow.
No, tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow's the deadline. So, it could go in conceivably.
Can I ask historically for
Right.
Phyllis's class, it says now $3 per session.
Right.
Does anyone, I feel like this happened prior to me getting here, and it said now $3 per class for about a year and a half. Does anyone remember?
I don't know when that went up,
Okay.
because I don't go to that class. I mean, I am only focused on what I do.
Yeah. Nobody attends Phil.
I think,
Tony would know because he would pay the extra if she needed to be, but she accepts whatever she gets.
Okay.
Because the Friends would subsidize hers before, but she gets enough with the $3.
What's this for?
Fit for Life.
Yeah, Phyllis's
So-
class.
So does that mean that whatever the class collects,
It goes
the
to her.
instructor gets?
Yes.
And then there's a difference?
Right, then they're paid.
Right. That one is a little different because the Friends pay for that class. Every other class comes out of our,
Right. Goes out of your budget?
Right.
Okay.
I think if you put up posters downstairs and put it in the broadcaster,
Yeah.
that the 2 weeks that's 4 classes that they can read. They can read something up on the wall. The instructor, Carol, can say, look at the wall, we're changing this, and it'll be in there. I think January is okay to make the change.
well, what I could do is announce it in January and have it start February 1st. Just so
I
have
think
a
if you
full
start
month of-
announcing it now and it
Yeah.
goes into effect in February, I
Yeah,
think
that
then
makes sense.
people have,
That makes sense.
some time to really, get the word
I
out to
raise that extra
everybody.
$1 to stop drinking so much coffee and Keep the ball on the exercise bike.
Oh, goodness.
That's a good
I
idea.
would just like a little more consistency. in
Right,
it.
right, right. I'm looking at the bottom of the broadcaster now and how it,
Yes, I think we have no problem with you doing that.
Right, yeah.
All right.
So, and also, we're removing the now, under Fit for Life, I would,
Removed now.
yeah.
It's
And
over a
just-
year.
I mean, all of them say, and even actually, I was looking at the stretch and flex, and if, well, wait a minute, beginners are welcome, Tai Chi. Line dancing is beginners, different levels. It's too bad we can't have some little word in here. It just says designed for all fitness levels. I don't know, what would that mean to the average older person, do you think? Is that the best? I was looking at.
Well, you don't have chair yoga or anything like that for people that are,
Started today.
the chair
you like
yoga?
it?
Well, her yoga
I
on
did
Wednesday.
like it.
Oh, really?
I've never done yoga before, so I was a little like a duck out of water. But I'm committed to trying.
Good, good.
There were a
Well,
lot of
anyway,
us there, though,
I don't
what,
need,
6,
that's not
7?
biggie. We don't
No,
have to-
and more than that, there
Were
was
there?
8 or 9. And that room is getting kind of tight.
Yeah, that room
Yeah.
is definitely gonna be tight.
Okay. Let's see if we can get maybe the Cooper room.
I
Or...
suggest we move on.
Okay,
Yeah.
moving on.
Okay.
Statistics are on the back. Nicole, did you have anything we missed for outreach?
I don't think so. I think we kind of covered all,
Most of
I
it.
think so.
Okay.
Yeah. Any questions about anything on the report?
The numbers keep going up.
I know, I was just gonna say that, so
Yeah.
look at that, the numbers keep going.
Yeah.
good.
It is
November.
Justification of why we need a senior center.
There's a question in the broadcaster.
Oh,
That
yes.
I was going to, well, there are two things, but I'm going to bring this one up. The New England Flute Orchestra of Indian Hill, now it says Sunday, December 16th, but Sunday is 15th, the 15th, so that was, and then also I saw that the ladies' breakfast was listed twice, 2 weeks in a row again.
Okay. Can we have you come in every month and review the broadcaster before
Yes.
it gets printed? We would love
Yes,
that.
you can, because I'm finding all these things.
All right. Yeah, we'd love to have some extra help. Any extra set of
Tomorrow?
eyes? No, it's not done tomorrow.
Okay,
Tomorrow is the deadline to have everything into Nancy Hilsinger, the editor.
yeah, because I'm really not sure when they're having this concert. Is it Sunday or is it Saturday?
See, we don't submit that. That information comes from,
They send the whole blurb?
it's copy pasted.
Cut and paste, yep.
Wow. Okay.
I move that we accept the director's report.
Second.
All those in favor of accepting the
Aye.
director and outreach workers report?
Aye.
Aye.
We have a motion on the floor to, hold on. Motion on the floor to accept the director's report and the outreach workers report.
Second.
Thank you. Maureen, how you did, say the director's report and not include outreach,
Oh.
that's all. So-
I would amend that.
I get it, we get it,
to-
yeah, you're amending
To
it.
outreach.
So, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
So moved, and seconded by Susan. Susan's been busy over there today, so, all those in favor of adjourning?
Aye.
Aye.
And we have a unanimous vote.